The pen weighed like lead between my fingers. I stared at the pages on the table, then lifted my eyes to my husband's confident, almost amused expression across from me. "Sign it," he said casually, leaning back in his chair. "Or I'll make sure this divorce takes years. I'll drain you." I signed. I set my keys beside the paperwork, stood up, and walked out of the penthouse I once believed was my forever, without turning around. The next morning, his lawyer called him in a full panic, shouting through the phone, "Do you have any idea what you just let her do?" But before I explain that call, let me take you back to where this all really started. I met Marcus 6 years ago at a charity gala in downtown Seattle. I was 32, newly promoted to lead architect at Morrison Design Group, riding the highest point of my career. I felt powerful, accomplished, unstoppable. Marcus appeared beside me near the silent auction table, perfect suit, easy smile, confidence that felt magnetic. He talked about a cutting-edge tech startup that would revolutionize construction. He spoke like a visionary. Now, looking back, the warning signs were everywhere. The constant name-dropping, the vague explanations whenever I asked for specifics, the way he insisted on splitting every check because equality matters, even though I later discovered his credit cards were maxed out. But I was lonely. I had spent my entire 20s grinding, 80-hour weeks, skipped holidays, postponed relationships. Marcus paid attention. He asked questions. He remembered my favorite wine. He showed up at my office with lunch when I forgot to eat. 18 months later, we were married. My mother had passed away 2 years earlier. She left me 3 things that mattered more than money ever could. Her vintage Cartier watch from the 1950s, a collection of watercolor paintings she had created over her lifetime, and a handwritten letter reminding me never to let anyone dull my light. The watch stayed locked in my bedroom safe. The paintings filled our penthouse walls. The letter lived in my nightstand, grounding me when life felt heavy. The first year of marriage was good. Marcus was affectionate, optimistic, always working on something big. I didn't mind covering expenses while he chased his dreams. Marriage was about teamwork, after all. Year 2, his startup collapsed. Investors vanished. He blamed everyone but himself. I held him while he cried. I paid off $30,000 in debt he'd hidden from me. Year 3 brought more startups, more ideas, more money from me. Every venture failed within months. By then, I was a partner at my firm, earning over $300,000 a year. Marcus, meanwhile, produced nothing but excuses. By year 4, he stopped pretending. Golf courses replaced offices. Business lunches stretched into dinner. Designer clothes appeared because, according to him, you have to look successful to become successful. I should have left then, but I heard my mother's voice telling me patience mattered, that some men needed time. Then I found the messages. It was a Tuesday evening. Marcus had left his phone on the kitchen counter while he showered. A notification lit up the screen. "Sophia Chen, can't wait to see you tomorrow, baby. Wear the shirt I bought you." My hands shook as I opened the conversation. 6 months of messages. "I love you. You're the only one who understands me. Once I get my share of the divorce, we'll be set for life." I searched her name, Sophia Chen, Instagram influencer, 200,000 followers, lifestyle luxury content. And there, in one of her recent photos, was my mother's Cartier watch, the one I thought I'd misplaced months earlier. I didn't scream. I didn't confront him. I took screenshots. I emailed them to myself. I placed the phone back exactly where it had been. That night, Marcus slept peacefully beside me while I lay awake planning. The destroyed prenup he'd convinced me to tear up, the paintings still on our walls, the years I'd spent building a life he planned to steal. The next morning, I called my college roommate, Helen Park, now one of Washington State's top family law attorneys. "I need help," I told her, and absolute discretion. She reviewed everything, the texts, the finances, the missing heirlooms. She leaned back and smiled. The best strategy, she said, is letting him believe he's already won. For 6 months, we worked quietly. I placed the penthouse into a trust. It had always been my separate property. I protected my partnership stake. I documented every dollar Marcus spent, every item he took. I installed hidden cameras, video only, and the footage told the truth. Marcus and Sophia in my home, my jewelry on her skin, my mother's paintings being boxed up and carried out. When I noticed the paintings missing, I called Marcus. "Oh, those," he said lightly. "I donated them. They were depressing." That night, I cried in the bathroom, then wiped my tears and continued. Helen prepared one final document. It looked harmless, routine. Marcus signed without reading. 3 days later, I signed mine and walked out. The penthouse was never his. The deed meant nothing. The trap was already closed. The next morning, nothing worked for him. The house didn't recognize his voice. The car wouldn't start. The cards declined. Sophia didn't answer because police were at her door. Everything was recovered. Charges were filed. Marcus called me 17 times. I didn't pick up. 6 weeks later, the divorce was finalized. He got nothing. Less than nothing. Sophia's career collapsed. Marcus moved back in with his mother, and I hung my mother's paintings back on the walls where they belonged. I didn't seek revenge. I sought truth. I sought justice. I stopped protecting someone who never protected me. And without me, he fell. If you're watching this and recognize yourself in my story, remember this. Document everything. Protect what's yours. And never let anyone convince you that strength is cruelty. This is Elena, signing off from Seattle, where the rain has finally stopped, the sun is pouring in, and my mother's legacy is home where it belongs.